On a pitch-perfect night for soccer near Seattle, it's an East versus West matchup. It's a critical National Women's Soccer League rematch between the Boston Breakers and Seattle Reign FC. As we look at the standings in the NWSL, Seattle finally out of the basement with 8 points, now setting its sights on the number 6 spot, currently held by the Chicago Red Stars with 12 points. Boston in 5th place, 15 points. You got to get into the top 4 to make it into the playoffs. They are targeting right now the 4th place team, the Western New York Flash. Great to have you with us, everyone. I'm Tom Glasgow. Welcome to Starfire Stadium, just south of Seattle. Again, a gorgeous night for soccer, and Reign fans hoping to see another excellent performance from their club, looking for a 3rd straight win, and also hoping to extend an unbeaten streak to 4 games. The reason the Reign have been able to turn it around so dramatically, an offense that has finally kicked into gear, led primarily by the addition of Megan Rapinoe, but certainly others have benefited due to her arrival, including Jess Fishlock. She has scored in each of the last 2 games, including this beautiful goal coming on Saturday night against the Red Stars from about 22 yards out. Fishlock will look to score tonight for the 3rd consecutive game. Some new faces on this roster, and one will be in the starting lineup tonight, playing up front, Jessica McDonald. Jessica, recently released by the Chicago Red Stars, claimed off of waivers a unique blend of size and speed that could make an improving Reign offense even better. Also added on to this team, Renee Cuellar. She may come on as a substitute. 5 goals this season for FC Kansas City. She was acquired in a trade. Again, another offensive threat. So this Reign team getting much deeper up front, but they're not neglecting the back line either. Former U.S. national team player Stephanie Cox is on board. She's been training with the club for about 3 weeks. Stephanie just brings a tremendous amount of experience. She may also be good to go this evening against the Breakers. And of course, a Breakers team that is trying to get back on track, defeated Sky Blue FC 3-2 the last time out. You beat the 1st place team. You got to feel good about that. And obviously, they're looking for a little payback tonight. One of the most dynamic offensive players in the league, of course, on the roster in Sydney Leroux. 7 goals so far this season, and trying to deny this outstanding talent some good looks at goalkeeper Hope Solo will certainly be one of the key factors tonight for the Seattle Reign's back line. A back line, by the way, and a defense in general that really has to do a much better job defending set pieces. The last 2 goals they've allowed have come off of corner kicks. Yeah. Terrific rendition of the national anthem as we are all about to celebrate Independence Day, the 4th of July. Great to have you with us again from Starfire Stadium. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight between Seattle Reign FC and the visiting Boston Breakers. In goal tonight, Alyssa Naeher. Defensively, it's Kat Whitehill, Jasmine Avant, Julie King, and Kia McNeill. The midfield, Leanne Sanderson, Joanna Lohman, Mariah Nogueira, and up front, Katie Schoepfer, Heather O'Reilly, and Sydney Leroux. For Seattle Reign FC in goal, it's Hope Solo. Defensively, for a 2nd consecutive game, Ellie Reed, Lauren Barnes, Kaylin Kyle, and Kirsten Dallstream. The midfield, same lineup as the last time out against Chicago. Kate Deines, Jessica Fishlock, and Keelan Winters. And up front, Megan Rapinoe starting tonight, her first home start. She came off the bench to play about 40 minutes on Saturday. Christine Nairn, and also the newcomer, Jessica McDonald, most recently with the Chicago Red Stars, adding some size and speed up front for the Reign, coached by Laura Harvey. Lisa Cole, the head coach of Boston. And our referees tonight, our referee is Miguel Pandoro Jr., the assistant referees, Amanda Ross and Ray Moffitt Jr., and the fourth official, Timon Berry. Great to have you with us. Starfire Stadium, it's about 15 minutes south of Seattle, and great to have alongside a member of the Reign's reserve team, rookie goalkeeper out of the University of Michigan, Haley Kopmeyer. Welcome to our stream broadcast tonight. Great to have you with us.
I'm excited. I'm excited for my first broadcast.
Well, let's talk about your club and the level that they're playing at right now, Haley. Looking for a third consecutive win, hoping to extend an unbeaten streak to 4 games. And this coming after a very difficult stretch. Players were missing due to injury. Megan Rapinoe was in France. But this club really held together through adversity. And sometimes when you have to go through that, it can make a team tighter and you start to get the benefits. And it looks like that's what's going on right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the Reign just really have exploded these last few games. You know, it's been fun to be a part of. It's been fun to watch. And it's finally all coming together from the defense, you know, to the forwards, to the midfield, and, you know, having Hope back in goal. It's just really, really taking shape, and all the changes that Laura and the coaching staff has made is really helping them, and I think it's going to really help the Reign move forward and get a few more wins here.
And obviously we've seen the instant impact in terms of Megan Rapinoe and what she brings, and I think defensively, because she draws so much attention and concern, that has led to some more room for the other players up front and also in the midfield to do some things offensively.
Absolutely. She just pushes the ball forward, and she's so dangerous with the ball. I mean, it's allowing players to get runs into the box, and, you know, Christine Nairn. It's also letting other players get free on the outsides, and, you know, we're scoring goals.
And we are underway at Starfire Stadium. Very busy night for soccer in Seattle. Not only this match just kicking off right about now, they're also kicking off about 15 minutes north of here at CenturyLink Field, Major League Soccer matchup between the Seattle Sounders and DC United. Jess Fishlock and Megan Rapinoe, sometimes easy to confuse the two.
They are twins.
Megan is a bit taller, but both short hair, platinum blondes. Both very aggressive players.
I believe Jessica's mother, she couldn't even tell the difference at times, so that's how you know they really do look like twins.
That'll certainly tell you something. Early possession for the Breakers. Good little run out of the back by Kat Whitehill. Throw in coming up for Boston. Of course, it was last Wednesday night back on the Breakers' home field. It looked like they were on their way to a victory, the 1-0 lead. And it wasn't just the lead, Haley, it was the fact that they were, you know, playing well, seemed to have much of the flow of play that night. But again, to the credit of this Reign team, they did not fold. They came back with a goal in the 78th minute by Fishlock, and then a goal in the 86th minute from Christine Nairn, and you get out of the Beantown area with a 2-1 victory. Exactly,
and, you know, it doesn't always have to be pretty, but at the end of the day, you know, we got 2 goals late, and even if the first part of the day, you know, game didn't look great, we stayed in it, and a couple calls went our way, and when it mattered, we finished. And you can really see the impact of Rapinoe and players moving forward like that, because we're finally dangerous going forward.
Yeah, and you hope over the course of a season those games will even out. When you play well and you tend to dominate and you don't get the result, and there are times like last Wednesday where maybe it was the opposite, but you got your W.
Exactly.
Coming out of goal, Naeher, recently suffering a broken nose, so you can see that mask that she has to wear. Kate Deines elevating, getting a head on it for the Reign. Here's McDonald, number 22, hitting the deck. Schoepfer trying to get it ahead for Boston. Kaylin Kyle will track it and send it back to Hope Solo. Kyle, number 6, with the first of the 3 goals last Saturday for the Reign off a penalty kick. Leroux the target. And Sydney gets it back. And the shot deflected and easily scooped up by Hope Solo. She joked afterwards that she defeated Jess Fishlock in a game of rock, paper, scissors to get the opportunity to take the PK. Or maybe she wasn't joking, but She got it in and knocked it home. Past a teammate of hers on the Canadian national team, and Aaron McLeod in goal. Turnover, and here comes Boston. Heather O'Reilly fouled just outside the box by Dallstream, so dangerous opportunity coming up here for the Breakers. So as a goalie, your Hope Solo, what are you trying to do right now in terms of your defense with the ball in this position directly out front?
Hope's trying to get her wall set right now to make sure that they're taking away that front post. You know, the hope is if the person's going to go to that near post, it's going to hit the wall. And then she'll cover the entire back post, and she's pretty good at it, so.
Again, we talked in the open about set pieces and an area where things need to improve, and certainly did there as the shot went low into the wall, taken by Kat Whitehill. Dallstream playing it into the offensive end. Jess Fishlock was anticipating maybe that ball being played back and hoped to take advantage of that. Ball in the direction of Rapinoe. Offside is the call. But you have to like the vision on that play and how it developed. Certainly the crowd appreciating that. Again, another indication of the improving rhythm offensively for this Reign squad. In the area of Nogueira, Deines over the back called for the foul. Kay picked up a few of those on Saturday night in the win against Chicago.
That's sort of the burden of being good in the air. You know, you go up for everything, and sometimes you end up jumping over somebody.
I've seen Kay play all the way back into high school, and that getting up into the air is a big part of her game. O'Reilly with the left foot, chipping it in. Nicely done. Rapinoe tracking it down. Ball deflected by O'Reilly, and it'll be a goal kick for Hope Solo. By the way, if you'd like to send us questions or comments via Twitter, we certainly encourage you to do that. You can connect with us at Seattle Reign FC. That's at Seattle Reign FC. And all the tough questions will go to Haley, but feel free to send them in. Good ball control there by Leanne Sanderson. Played up ahead by Jasmine Avant. Sanderson, that ball deflected. And that'll be a corner kick, the first of the match coming up for the Boston Breakers. Boston led in scoring this season, the 7 goals of Sydney Leroux, of course, a member of the U.S. national team, a dynamic offensive player. Here comes the ball in. Solo had it, lost it, got it back as a foul is called on Boston. And Leanne Sanderson, who sent that corner kick in, 7 assists. That is tops in the National Women's Soccer League. Ellie Reed trying to get ahead on it. Keelan Winters playing it back. Lauren Barnes, who's really rock solid defensively and has been all season long. Here goes Fishlock playing it out to Rapinoe. Megan, the left footer, didn't really get the service on it she would have liked. Barnes there to send it back in. Heather O'Reilly playing it over to Lohman. Sanderson and Leroux. Good counterattack here. Here's O'Reilly, blocked by Dallstream, and Kirsten does a nice job, able to keep it in play and send it out. Rapinoe with a beautiful touch, grabbing the defender of Avant. And she's got her hands full with Rapinoe and McDonald. Double team, no foul called, and Rapinoe on the move, sending it toward Fishlock. Good header right there by Julie King to get it out of danger for Boston. And here's Rapinoe off the deflection, unable to track that ball down off the leg of Dallstream. Good early action for the Reign here tonight. And very aggressive play, which you'd love to see.
Both sides really look like they're pushing forward, and I mean that means it's going to be a high-scoring game, good game. So
you look for those opportunities to counter and counter quickly.
Absolutely, we're in for a good one.
Ball into Nogueira. Good switch over to Julie King. Room on the far sideline for Boston. Crossing the neighborhood of O'Reilly, not enough on it. Deines goes down. A little too much on that one for Rapinoe to get to. And here's O'Reilly. Such a tremendous contributor to the U.S. national squad over the years. Sanderson, back to Heather. Room to operate. Left foot. And well played defensively by the Reign and Lauren Barnes. Up ahead to McDonald. McDonald heading it forward. Rapinoe will give chase, but tracked down by Kia McNeill. Deines with a header. Rapinoe. 2 breakers on her, and the foul will go against Jasmine Avant. What have you seen in workouts? What can you tell us about Jessica McDonald, who came over via waivers from Chicago?
Jess has been in camp for a couple days now, and she's just a workhorse. She's a big, strong center forward, and she'll get up, she'll body people and win the ball. And, you know, that's something that we've been looking for, and we really need to, you know, kind of hold it and then to play those runners in like Rapinoe and Nairn and Bogus when they're in. And I really think she's going to do that, and I'm excited to see what she can do in games for us. You know, she's just in her first 15 so minutes with us, and there's another flick there that's very dangerous.
Rapinoe. That ball deflected as she launched. Deines heading it forward. And Naeher will have no trouble with that. How have you seen enough of her, Haley, to see how dangerous she is through the air? We assume because of size, but that's not necessarily the case.
I mean, she's shown it a little bit in practice, you know, as much as you can in the days leading up to a game. But, I mean, you know, around the league you hear rumors, and that's certainly a rumor that we've heard about her coming in. And I think that was one of the huge reasons that the coaching staff was interested in picking her up so quickly.
I know Coach Harvey had mentioned, too, she has dynamic speed.
Absolutely.
And with that combination of size, that is a unique skill set in most instances.
Yeah, and she's been successful, you know, pretty much everywhere she's gone, and it just proves to be really lethal. And there's not a whole lot of players that you can say have that size and that speed.
Good footwork by Kyle. Back to Solo. And over the head of Christine Nairn, a throw in for Boston. There is Jessica McDonald, number 22, making her debut with the Reign. Keelan Winters trying to target Rapinoe. Terrific pass. Megan with some room to operate. Sending it back in, looking for McDonald. Good idea. Good defense, though, by Boston. A mix up there as the ball deflects off of Deines. Kate, a former standout at the University of Washington. Kyle looking up ahead. And obviously you can see a lot of focus on that back line, looking for Megan Rapinoe to see how much room she has. Fishlock. Room to operate for Jess, member of the Wales national team. Good defense by Boston that time. Avant with the defense on Rapinoe that time, and here comes Sanderson. 3 Reign players by her, dumping it off. Nogueira heading for the far sideline, intercepted by Ellie Reed. And Sydney Leroux picking up the errant ball. And a nice touch by Leroux, and you see the speed and athleticism. Dallstream, though, takes it away. Terrific D by Dallstream, but Leroux getting it right back. And cleared out by Barnes. Deflection by Fishlock. Rapinoe with room. Like that one was intended for Fishlock. Good possession here by the Breakers. Ball played up ahead. Sanderson. And well done defensively by Barnes. Breakers regaining the possession, and a throw in coming up for Seattle. 14th minute here at Starfire Stadium.
I really believe that Barnes moving to the center of the defense has had such a big impact, and just keeping the line together and not having those little breakdowns that I think were really prevalent at the beginning of the season. You know, besides the fact that she's cleared numerous balls off the line, it's been such a good change.
Unforced turnover right there by Boston. What's critical about that position, regardless of who's there? What is the key to success in that role?
You know, that role really sets the play of the game, and, you know, they also have a lot of pressure on them because the breakdown there is a 1v1 opportunity on the goalie, and she has such a calmness about her that, you know, as a goalkeeper, you just have confidence when she's in front of you. You know, you don't think she's going to make a mistake, and, you know, any ball she plays in front of you is going to be a good one.
Good touch there by Dallstream. The deflection by Lohman, and offside against Boston. And the Breakers coming off a 3-2 victory on Sunday over Sky Blue FC. Sydney Leroux with 2 goals in that contest. And Coach Lisa Cole saying, you know, we weren't totally satisfied that we gave up 2 goals, but as long as, you know, we get at least 3, we'll take the result.
Absolutely. Wins right now are huge, especially, you know, with all the teams competing for those last couple of playoff spots. You know, you really can't afford to lose, and a win is everything. So even if it's ugly, you kind of got to take it and roll with it and hope the next game gets better.
Fishlock out to Kyle. Christine Nairn. Chip up ahead, far sideline, looking for Ellie Reed. The defender coming up aggressively into the offensive end. And Naeher clearing it out. If you ever had to wear a face mask as a goalie, I would think that would be irritating to some degree, even though it's obviously in the case of Alyssa's situation, you got to wear it.
Absolutely.
Dealing with a broken nose.
I have never had to wear one, but I imagine it would also be very hot under that mask. So especially with the sun kind of beating into her face right now, it's got to be pretty hot under there.
Well, 2 days ago here, that would have been a much bigger issue as we were in the mid-90s.
Absolutely, yeah. It was very warm here.
About 75 to 80 degrees tonight at kickoff. Terrific weather.
It's good soccer weather. You still have that breeze, even though it's a little bit sunny outside. So much better than a couple of days ago. We lucked out.
Keelan Winters out to Rapinoe. Left foot deflected out. Thought it would go out, but Rapinoe tracks it down. Winters. Into the box. We'll see if Nairn can get there. She can as she peels off a throw in for the Breakers. Scoreless here at Starfire Stadium. Seattle's last time out was Saturday, the 3-1 win against Chicago, a scoreless first half. And then everything really clicking for Seattle in the second half. 3 goals, Kyle, Fishlock, and Rapinoe adding the clincher in added time. Barnes playing it ahead. Mentioned your rookie season in professional soccer out of the University of Michigan. You're from Troy, Michigan. What have been your impressions of professional soccer, your first go-around with it?
I'm really impressed so far. Just the speed of play, you know, how big, strong, fast, and just the style of play, how good everything is and has been. It's been, you know, such a cool experience, especially coming out of college. And, you know, you wonder how high the level really can get and how much big of a change there is, and it's huge. You know, at first, the first couple weeks in Japan there, it was a little bit shocking almost. And you kind of, you know, then finally the game starts to slow down and you pick up little things. And it's been awesome. You know, I'm so happy I decided to do it and that I got picked up. And so far the experience has just been unbelievable.
Rapinoe plays with such calm on the ball. Very impressive. Winters chipping it up ahead. And Avant thought she'd seal off Rapinoe, and Megan unable to keep it in. Goal kick coming up for Boston. Big Ten Conference, getting back to your career at Michigan. How was it last year in terms of strength, and did you feel like that conference and especially that Wolverine team prepared you well for the next level?
I actually played 5 years at Michigan, and by my 5th year, we were finally really a contender in the league, and it prepared us well, I think. You know, the girls were kind of notorious in the Big Ten for being big, strong girls, so in that aspect, you know, the style of play suited me really well.
Yeah.
I also got to play against my now roommate, Christine Nairn, at Penn State a lot, and they, you know, really dominated the league, and every time we played them, I took about 25, 30 shots a game, so I held my own. But
does she remind you about that frequently?
Does. I know. We talk about it all the time. We, you know, battle with Michigan stuff and Penn State things in the apartment, and, you know, just got to have a little bit of school pride.
Heather O'Reilly. Nogueira with the switch. And King on the move. Nice run by King. Last touch a little too hard, and that'll be a foul on King. And shaken up.
It was a hard hit.
Maybe your roommate who's down.
No, it's Lou Barnes.
Is it Barnes?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Nairn.
Like
Christine
King
standing right there, 19. Yeah. Nairn into Barnes. Well, Lauren will have to thank her for that after the game.
That'll be a nice bruise.
See that she's okay. And that foul will go against Schoepfer. And the referee would like to tell her, enough of that, a little too aggressive. Impression so far of the Reign, how they're performing? What do they need to do a bit better to get some quality chances on goal?
I think the Reign needs to do a better job of holding the ball up top a little better, making some movement, you know, and they're sort of overlooking the midfield a little bit right now, and I think it would really help to get Keelan and Jess and Kate a little more involved to move that ball forward instead of just skipping the line and trying to get a flick off of everything. But, you know, both teams right now aren't really giving anything up too much, and both are pushing forward, so it'll be good. It's going to be who's going to break through and who's going to step up in that big moment.
Well, Rapinoe trying to create a moment here, but good defense by Nogueira. And you see the effort by Rapinoe and the deflection going off Schoepfer, and a throw in for Seattle. Megan Rapinoe missing just about the first half of the season due to not only her commitment with the Lyon club over in France, but then coming back to play for the national team. Played here last season as a member of the Seattle Sounders, and one of her teammates, Sydney Leroux, on what was a very stacked team last season, as a number of national team members for the U.S. were using the Seattle club to get ready for the Olympics. What's it like to be on the field, not only with some of these teammates, but seeing other players? You know, you were probably growing up watching some of them play for the national team, and now you're one of their peers.
Absolutely. It's very surreal. You know, it's funny, especially in the game that I got to play in. I'm playing against, you know, players like Kelly O'Hara, and I'm coming to training every day and playing with Megan Rapinoe and Hope Solo, and you just kind of, you know, it's unbelievable. And they're your friends,
pinch
too.
Yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you pinch yourself a little bit, because growing up, that's every kid's dream.
Good opportunity right there. Looked like Nogueira got the head on the ball, but Solo positioned perfectly. It was Nogueira, by the way, who got the lone Boston goal in the first meeting between these clubs, and she scored on a header off a corner kick. The second header off of that corner kick.
Set pieces have been, somewhat of an issue for the Reign, especially things with marking on set pieces. And, just again, some player got inside and it was a really dangerous opportunity. So marking, especially in the box on those dangerous set pieces, needs to be something that cleans up, or else goals like that are going to keep going in off of corner kicks and distance balls.
Fishlock a little strong for Rapinoe. So what's the key as a defender? I mean, obviously, I would think first and foremost, you don't want to lose your mark.
Absolutely.
And then first to the ball, I know, is always get there before the offensive team does. And, of course, sometimes these things are easier said than done. That's why goals are occasionally scored off of the set pieces.
The biggest thing with set pieces like that is you got to break the run of the forward or whoever the player is that's running in. If you can break their run, you can throw off their timing just enough. If you don't break their run, if you don't get a good body on them, they're going to get in behind and beat you. They do have an advantage going forward, so you got to be big and strong and really body them off.
Number 6, Kaylin Kyle.
It's like Sanderson going down. We'll take another look at it. Kaylin Kyle booked on this play. She made a swipe at the ball, and you can see Leanne right shin, and that is painful regardless of whether you have shin guards or not. For Kaylin Kyle, that is her 4th yellow card on the season, and that equals a team high with Jess Fishlock. I'll tell you one of the things that I think and I hope people appreciate about the women's game. You do not see the flopping and the flailing that you see in the men's game.
No, you don't.
Any reason for that?
There are some players that do it, but for the most part, girls are just playing and going hard.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the strongest player is going to win out, so you may as well be that person. And, too, if you go in strong, you're not going to get injured. And that's a big thing, I think, with women are, we're so much more prone to things like knee injuries and ankle injuries and all of that. So, you can't really afford to kind of go soft into a tackle because someone really can wind up hurt because someone else is going to come strong.
Sanderson off. Whitehill into the box. And an offside call against Boston. Hopefully Leanne Sanderson will be able to return to the pitch here at Starfire Stadium. We're in the 26th minute, scoreless match between the Seattle Reign and Boston Breakers. Great to have you with us. Haley Kopmeyer alongside. Tom Glasgow with you. We appreciate Haley stopping by on short notice. Currently a member of the reserve squad, so you'll be playing some matches out in Issaquah, which is about a 30-minute drive from here. Christine Nairn. Nice pass to Dallstream. Kirsten keeping it in. To Nairn with a left foot, dealing with the sun, and that can be difficult at that end if you really put a ball on target. Alyssa Naeher did not have much of an issue with the sun because that pass, I think it was a pass by Nairn, a little too strong, although maybe she was looking for something special there. Deines with a header.
Naeher and Nairn played together for a few years in college, so maybe she knows something, we don't about her, a secret spot to put the ball or something like that.
Right, another Nittany Lion.
Exactly.
Boston looking to counter, but there's Barnes again. Fifth start for Hope Solo since returning to active duty, if you will, after wrist surgery. Played a couple of games for the national team against South Korea. Oh, good combination there. Lohman sends it back, but cleared out momentarily. Here's O'Reilly. Tries to launch. Fishlock in the right place at the right time for the Reign. And the ball knocked out by Jasmine Avant. One of our Twitter questions that came in, why the trade of Cuellar and Noyola, the deal between the Reign and FC Kansas City? We'll try to answer that in a moment. McDonald flying in, but terrific job defensively by Naeher. And those are the type of plays that sometimes can lead to a broken nose when you have a forward going full steam ahead, and same for the goalie coming out. Nairn, good defense that time by Whitehill. Obviously, again, when you talk about the national team and having an impact, Kat Whitehill, special talent on the defensive end.
Does, and she plays absolutely unbelievable set piece balls, her and Leanne Sanderson, and that's another reason why they're so dangerous moving forward. She can, hit a 60-yard ball without even taking a run up, so that's dangerous anytime a player can do that.
Lohman ahead to O'Reilly. Rapinoe, they know each other very well. Nogueira looked right, went left. Leroux looking to clear some room for that right foot. Sanderson launches and just off target, deflected. And a second corner kick in this match coming up for Boston. Dangerous shot that time by Sanderson. And it'll be Leanne, and good to see her back on the pitch with a pitch without a limp. She'll take this corner kick. And again, we've talked about the defense on set pieces. Let's see how the Reign performs on this one. Fishlock getting to the ball first. Leroux. Cleared out. Nairn and Avant going for the ball, and Boston will maintain possession. Sanderson. Leroux offside. And that threat ends for Boston. 30th minute here at Starfire Stadium, just south of Seattle. Not only just this stadium, also it includes a number of fields, youth tournaments going on weekend after weekend here. It's really sort of the center of the soccer universe, if you will, in the Puget Sound area. Seattle Sounders FC have their training facility here. Also, of course, this is the training home of the Reign. Attacked by Boston. Kyle gets a foot on it. Not out of danger, though. Ball sent into the box. Solo right there. And the quick throw out to Rapinoe. Fishlock. Good use of her body against McNeill. Here comes Leroux, and Fishlock hits the deck. You'll see a lot of that. She always seems to be in the mix, in the action. Part of that, of course, being a midfielder, but also a testament to the way she loves to play the game.
No, she does. She loves to get stuck in, and she's not going to back down from anybody. So she's small, but I put money on her in a fight against most people.
She gets after it pretty good. Reed to McDonald in a fairly quiet first half for Jessica in her first start. Christine Nairn. Wanted to get back to that question, why the trade of Cuellar to Noyola, and I'll give you my thoughts. Haley, tell me what you think, but just trying to increase that depth up front, adding to the combinations. Teresa playing mostly more of a midfield, I would say, and with this group, with Rapinoe coming on, maybe her minutes wouldn't be where they would like. And, to get somebody good, you have to give up somebody good. And Cuellar comes here with 5 goals scored on the season. Here's McDonald into the box. Fishlock. And right there, Alyssa Naeher. Agree or not? Feel free to disagree.
I do, and I think for the Reign, the big things that has been lacking at the beginning of the season is just goal scoring. A true goal scorer. Renee has scored against us, I think, once or twice already in the season, and she's a proven goal scorer in this league. And not only that, our midfield probably is our strongest position. Between Deines, Fishlock, Winters, Nairn can drop in, Rapinoe can drop in. It's so strong, and that a player like Nogueira, who should be getting a lot of minutes somewhere, maybe won't get as many here, and she deserves to, and she deserves to be on a team that needs a great midfielder. And with Cheney pushing forward, I think that's what Kansas City needs. So everybody comes out on top.
O'Reilly went for the shot. Kyle with the defense. Sanderson, Lohman looking for Leroux. Dallstream there. Good position by Kirsten. Rapinoe. Oh, nice touch ahead to Nairn. Here comes Megan on the overlap. Deines. Nairn. Playing it down the sideline for Rapinoe, and Megan will come up short. Throw in for Boston. Good sequence of possession, though. Is that what you're talking about? Playing more through the midfield, having a little more possession through that area to set things up better offensively?
Definitely, and you know, Nairn, even as a forward, dropped into that midfield to make room for midfielders like Jess Fishlock going forward, and you know, just that movement is hard for defenses to deal with, and I think that's really smart. And you know, at the beginning of the season, that lacked, and that movement is what's caused a lot of the goals that the Reign has scored these last couple of games.
Rapinoe, 3 teammates in the box. Good defense that time, but it'll lead to a first corner kick tonight for Seattle. Interesting, Haley, in the first matchup between these clubs, the 2-1 Seattle win. 9 corner kicks in that game for Boston, just 1 for Seattle. So with this one already equaling the total of the first meeting. Rapinoe to take it. McDonald there. Last touch by Jessica. That was close. Goal kick coming up for Boston. An example I asked you earlier about her ability in the air, and we saw some of it right there. Just a little off target on that one.
And she's even standing in front of the goalkeeper there. You know, she has such a strong presence that it's hard to get around her. So, you know, to stand in front of the goalie and still put a good effort up on it and, you know, nearly score and be able to box her out anytime that's a target. And I think Pinot can play those balls consistently.
Free kick coming up for Whitehill. Into the box, Lohman unable to connect with the header, and a goal kick coming up for Hope Solo. 36th minute in Seattle. Good look at Jess Fishlock. I think she was someone who during that really tough stretch through the first half of the season, I think attitude-wise, from talking to her and some of the other players, we'll be back to that in a moment. There's Jess, a little strong on that touch, but trying to keep it alive. And again, you see her aggressiveness. Really a player in terms of attitude and staying positive, a real glue, I think, in that area for this squad. Fair?
Very fair. She's pushed everybody to stay, you know, positive throughout the entire process. And not only that, you know, she makes everybody around her better, and she makes them better at training and in games. And she's very uplifting in all settings. And, you know, she's a team player. She really is. And she has confidence in the people around her. And, you know, kind of once the personnel started rolling in, you could really see her. I mean, she's shining even more than she did before.
Haven't seen much of it tonight, but she and Rapinoe really seem to have a good feel for how to play with each other and maximize each other's skills.
Absolutely. You know, and they're similar players in just that they're so soccer savvy. You know, they really understand where people are and where players are going to be. And I think in that way they really connect well because, you know, Jess doesn't even have to look and she'll find Rapinoe streaking down the line.
And you see an example of the feistiness of Jess Fishlock. And, well, she reclaims the lead in yellow cards over Kaylin Kyle. That is the 5th. The key is you've got to be careful, though. You don't want to go a player down. You've got a yellow card now with Fishlock, and also Kyle's been booked as well. And that was really one that probably wasn't necessary in terms of physical play. Fishlock.
And referees are going to book that almost every time.
Offside. That's unfortunate. Boy, they had a nice build-up going offensively, and the timing a little bit off. Looked like that may have been able to turn into something special for Seattle. I believe those 5 yellow cards put her in the #1 position in the league. Not that she'll boast about that, but we'll simply make note of it.
She hadn't gotten any for, I think, quite a few games. I think the first 4 came in probably the first 4 games of the season, so hopefully this doesn't, you know, start another 4-game slide here.
Sanderson harassing Winters, who plays it back to Kyle. Looking for Nairn. Very good defense by the Breakers. Avant keeps it in. Nairn applying pressure. Rapinoe. Deines. Nairn onside. Inside toward McDonald.
Very dangerous ball.
And a goal kick coming up for Boston, and it looks like the Reign players believe they have a corner kick. I thought I saw the AR signal initially, and there we have the referee signaling that it was a deflection and should be a corner kick for Seattle. So the second corner coming up for the Reign. Rapinoe to take it. Deines with some size in the box. Ball deflected. Deines playing it out. Leroux has a beat on it. Might be an opportunity to counter here for the Breakers. Leroux slowing it down just a bit, looking for some support. And Barnes with a very nice tackle, playing it out on the near sideline. So ending that threat at least momentarily. You talked earlier about Lauren Barnes and how as a goalkeeper you feel like she'll always be where she needs to be and make the play that needs to be made. And we saw a great example of it right there, Haley.
She really is. She's so soccer smart. You know, you kind of say as a goalkeeper you want your defender to confront it about 25 yards out to kind of take away the play backside and also win the ball. And, you know, I don't even think Hope had to say anything. She right at 25 yards put in a great tackle.
Second throw in coming up for Lohman. Instead, she'll hand it off to Leroux. Leroux getting it back. Rapinoe, Leroux. And the national team teammates kind of going 1v1 right there. Corner kick coming up, number 3 tonight for Boston. This will be taken by O'Reilly. Low ball inside. O'Reilly sends it back in. The header, and Solo may have gotten a hand on it. She did, so a corner kick coming up for Boston. Nice execution by the Breakers, but Solo right where she needed to be, just to be sure that ball did not go in.
And while the marking on the first ball in was really good, it's that second ball, too, that, you know, that Reign got scored on last time, and, you know, the play's not over until the ball's all the way out, so got to refine your mark and not let that happen because it's very dangerous.
That header was by Lohman. Off the corner. That went off Nogueira's head. Off target, and Solo coming up with the goal kick. What are your impressions of what you've seen so far in terms of defending on these now 4 corner kicks from Boston?
It's certainly looking better. You can tell the emphasis that's been placed on that in practice this week, and also, you know, there's still always adjustments that can be made, and, you know, making sure that that second ball is covered. And I really do think the presence of McDonald also helps, because you can stick, you know, a player like her on Nogueira, someone who is very dangerous in the air, and, you know, she's proven that she's good at headers on offense, so it's a good chance she's probably also pretty good on them at defense as well.
Absolutely. Nogueira, nice touch, moving it ahead to Sanderson. Sanderson getting it back. Nogueira, nice switch of the ball. Feet inside, and cleared out by Barnes. Loose ball and a dangerous one, and we'll have a foul. No, offside against the Breakers. Ball quickly out to Rapinoe. Hagan looking for McDonald, and I think that's the result of two new teammates maybe coming together. And
there's definitely a little bit of figuring out that needs to go on, and you know that'll happen as more games, more practices, and everything go on together. So you know,
I think Megan was anticipating Jess McDonald to kind of make a run there, and she was a little more hesitant to do that. Deines again looking for McDonald, who couldn't continue with that run. She would have been offside. Whitehill. Avant. Pursued by Rapinoe. Nice job by Avant. Ball up ahead to Leroux. Trying to cut it back. Ball off of Dallstream, and corner kick number 5 coming up for the Breakers. We are in the 45th minute here at Starfire Stadium. Certainly a goal at this point would carry a lot of momentum for either club into the locker room. Sanderson will take this corner. Outswinger coming up. Headed out by McDonald. Well done by Jessica. Lobbed back in. Dangerous ball, but Solo with the save. That was Schoepfer with the attempt with the left foot. Another good opportunity for the Breakers, but again, the last line of defense delivering in Hope Solo. Have 2 minutes.
2 minutes of
added time. Nairn with some room to run. Dropping it back to Deines. Reed wide open far sideline. Ellie Reed. Left foot. Looked like she was kind of caught between passing and shooting. Naeher quickly throwing the ball out to Leroux. McDonald. Fishlock onside. And a corner kick coming up for Seattle. Corner kick number 3 for the Reign here in the first half.
The goal right now really could change the momentum of the game. It kind of seems like Boston's had a little bit more of the play and definitely a few more chances, especially in the last 15 minutes here. So this would be huge.
Rapinoe. And had a good target there in Kaylin Kyle on the far post, but job well done defensively by Naeher. Look at Alyssa right there with that face mask on. Lohman playing it back. Dallstream. And Lohman for Boston. Winners. Fishlock, maybe one last opportunity here for Seattle. Fishlock from distance. Earl Strong may have had an opportunity that time to go out to her right to Rapinoe, but not knowing where the time is, sometimes if you got an opportunity, let it rip.
And she scored not too far away from there the other day.
About 22 yards out. It was a beautiful strike.
So if you can make that shot.
And we have reached halftime here at Starfire Stadium, south of Seattle. Both teams with opportunities to break through, but the story in the first half, Haley, I guess, would be the defense.
Definitely the defense. Really towards the end, it seemed like Boston's going to push through, but Hope held strong, the defense held strong, and they came away on the plus side of set pieces, I guess, so to speak. Didn't let any in, and for that team, that's going to be big moving forward.
Recently, Boston going through a stretch, 4 games in about 11 days. That's what Seattle's going through right now. This is the finale of that very difficult run, difficult in terms of a physical strain, productive in terms of the results. With the tie, followed by back-to-back victories, going for a third straight win tonight. Physically, where do you think the team is right now in terms of kind of holding up to this stretch of games?
The practices really change in weeks like these. You know, there's a lot more rest, and especially for players who are playing big minutes, there's, you know, a lot more time off, a lot of time spent in the ice bath and everything like that. You know, just trying to get legs back for the games. Fatigue definitely sets in a little bit sooner, and you got to use your subs. So I believe a few girls are going to come off the bench, and, you know, hopefully for both teams probably are going to make a big impact because they're going to have legs at the end of the game and no one else will.
Adjustments, I'm sure, in training as well. I would think not as demanding as maybe normally would be the case. Want to keep the legs as fresh as possible.
Absolutely, yep. A lot of light jogging and.
Well, you goalies have it easy anyway,
we go,
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we
come
just
on.
stand around.
Let's be honest about it.
We don't even really do anything.
It's not
so
like you're a
midfielder.
You got to go in there.
I know. Yeah, we just yell at people and stand there and,
all right.
and eat cookies and stuff.
That yelling's important. It's so key to the communication defensively. We'll see what adjustments the coaches have in store at halftime. Laura Harvey for Seattle, Lisa Cole for the Breakers. We are scoreless here at halftime at Starfire Stadium. Great to have you along for the first half. Really appreciate it. Glad to be a part of your broadcasting debut, and a terrific job.
Thank you. I hope I did an all right job stepping in. I had really big shoes to fill, so hopefully I at least, you know, did 50% of what Leslie does. My
regular partner, Leslie Gallimore. The shoes to fill, and Leslie literally hands the shoes over. You filled them quite nicely. We'll do it again sometime, I hope.
All right, sounds good.
Haley, thank you so much. Haley Kopmeyer, rookie goalkeeper, part of this Reign organization out of the University of Michigan. Hopefully Mom and Pops and all the family were tuning in and got to witness what you did tonight back in Michigan.
I hope so. You know, it all happened so quick, so I don't know if I got the text out soon enough, but hopefully
they're watching.
If not, you know, they can always watch the replay.
Very good. Haley, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, you have a great 4th of July. 0-0 here at Starfire Stadium between Seattle and Boston. We will take a brief break and rejoin you soon from the Seattle area.
my life. Oh.
Welcome back to Starfire Stadium. We are scoreless at halftime. It is 0-0 between the Seattle Reign and Boston Breakers. Tom Glasgow with you. Great to have my regular partner arriving. Little pet emergency. Great to have Leslie Gallimore, the head coach of the University of Washington here. And also a special guest she and I go back a few years to Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma. I'll give you the honors, Leslie, to introduce Colleen.
Well, I was on a conference call yesterday with the NSCA Women's Committee, and as we do on the Women's Committee, we try to just pull each other in when we can. So I was fortunate to have Dr. Colleen Hacker on the line, and I snagged her for the interview for today's halftime. And Colleen and I go way back, and it usually takes us a weird turn to run into each other actually in the state of Washington. We usually see each other somewhere else. But the big connection here is that Lisa Cole, the head coach for the Boston Breakers, played for Colleen. I think graduated back in '97 from PLU. Esteemed coach, sports psychologist, mental skills coach, has worked with the national teams, has worked with several other professional athletes, and I'm just interested to get her take on, one, what she's doing now and what she thinks about us having a pro team here in Seattle.
Yeah, great to have you alongside.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful. I mean, anytime a city, and certainly a soccer city like Seattle, gets a women's professional team, you see the crowd that's out here now. It's great for the development of the women's game. It's great for the national team to be able to have these players playing inconsistently. And bi-coastal, I mean, Boston, Seattle, and you see the crowd. Yeah. You see the quality of play. And now Seattle's at full strength.
Right.
I think they were holding on a little bit, waiting to get these national team players back, and you see the difference that they've made on the field.
Let me ask you about that from your perspective as a sports psychologist. This was a club that basically went the first half of the season without a win. Now, there were reasons for that. That can either rip a team apart, especially a first-year club. You don't have long-term relationships formed. It seemed like the opposite happened here, though, that there were enough dominant personalities, along with a head coach, that adversity maybe made them a little bit tighter. Not that they'd wanted to go through it, but they drew something positive from that. Fair enough?
Absolutely, Tom. I think Seattle, it's a crossroads. It really is a crossroads. When you haven't won a game or you're not having the success that you expect as a club, it reveals character. It really reveals what these players are about, what they're playing for. In an odd way, it could end up serving this team well, because players that might have been expected, if things had gone the way Seattle had wanted, they would have been role players. Now all of a sudden these are starting players that have to find the game, that have to set the tone. I credit the coaching staff. That's incredible leadership to be able to say, we've got hope, we're in there, let's everybody raise our game, and I think Seattle did that.
Well, we have a terrific coach here, and Leslie, talk about the importance in this day and age, what you do and what Colleen does, and the melding of those things together.
Well, I've been really fortunate to be able to hang out with Colleen on several occasions in coaching schools and different coaching environments, and also to watch her work, and you know, to sort of feed off her and get advice from her throughout the years. I've definitely had, as we all do as coaches, our ups and downs during seasons, and Colleen has been a great shoulder to lean on and a great ear for me. But it's exactly what she just said, and I think we alluded to it in the last game when they finally have gotten on a little roll here, is you have to fake it till you make it. I don't know if you want to say that, but you've got to find a way to be a professional, and you have to find a way to just keep preparing and moving forward and not looking back. And when you're not getting the results you want, even if there are reasons or excuses, that's not what you dwell on. You find a way individually to be professional and to move forward. And as a head coach, I know I went through one particularly rough season at Washington back in 2005, and you have to find a way in front of your team to not show any chinks in the armor. You have to find a way to stay positive, to keep preparing, to look forward to the next game, and you know, play to win. And it turns out that you know, that attitude will help you.
But leadership plays a key role in that.
I think so.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what is more difficult? Maybe this is an apples and oranges question. Taking a player to the next level physically, or taking a player to the next level mentally?
Well, when you ask a mental skills coach that question, you're going to get a loaded answer. Of course, you know.
But she's a really fit mental skills coach.
She is.
But I honestly believe this. So you know, when you play at a certain level, when you're talking about a pro team versus a pro team, when you're talking about an Olympic team versus Olympic team, when you're talking about a top flight Division I program against a top flight Division I program, physically these players are capable or they wouldn't be out there. Technically, they're strong. Tactically, they're smart. They're students of the game. Physically, they've been put through the paces. I think what most coaches hope for on game day is that their capabilities are shown. I think rarely are coaches out-coached. They just want the team that they've prepared, the individuals, to play with their full potential. Easier said than done, though. So for me, it really does come down to those psychological factors. Physically, players are the same Friday night as Saturday night, Wednesday, Sunday. Why these big fluctuations in performance? For me, it's a psychological dimension.
Well, and I know based on the testimonials, and Colleen can't speak to individual players or teams necessarily that she's dealt with, but I know personally from testimonials of players that she has been a part of either their team or just worked with them individually, that once you get to a certain level physically, tactically, technically, that's going to be there. That's like, you can do that part with your eyes closed. It's what's in your head that is going to push you one way or the other. And these players, you know, based on the skills training that they've had, you know, it's the make or break.
Yeah, we've got about 30 seconds. I'm a PLU grad. You were at PLU. Mentioned Lisa Cole, PLU. I want you to take a moment to talk about a guy that university lost recently, very special, former head football coach Frosty Westering. When you talk about an ultimate motivator, not to mention how good he was at the X's and O's, this was a special, special man, and his loss is going to be felt for a long time in that PLU community and beyond.
No question. Frosty Westering is without peer. He is without equal and without peer. You know, I said to you a few minutes ago, for me, the world got a little bit darker with Frosty's passing. But now it's up to all of us that had the blessing of coaching alongside him or hearing from him or getting one of those big old bear hugs to carry that message on. What a wonderful role model for sport in America.
As he would say, you make the big time where you're at, and everybody will try to make the big time where they are with his passing and carry that legacy on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Come on by anytime.
Thank you.
And you'll get this, quality concessions in a Christian context. That was always at the concession stand down at PLU. I knew she would remember and get that.
Pleasure to have Dr. Colleen Hacker.
Absolutely.
A Northwest legend in her own right.
Absolutely.
Colleen, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Second half coming up. The Reign and Boston Breakers scoreless here at halftime. Very important game for both clubs. Second half kickoff coming up as we see both teams now back out on the field. We'll see if we get any changes from the original starting 11 for both squads. And hopefully we'll be able to pass along some. About ready for the second half. Leslie Gallimore, Tom Glasgow with you. Nice to have Colleen Hacker with us at halftime. You always come up with terrific halftime guests. Well done, Coach.
Like I said, I snagged her from a conference call yesterday. That's the thing about women's committees. You're on committees with females and you get wrangled into everything. So I'd been roped into a few things myself, so Colleen had no option but to say yes.
Quick glance out at the Reign players on the field. It looks like the same starting 11 is out for the second half. And a quick view of the Breakers as well. It would seem like they are back out with their original starting group. So we had some good opportunities for both clubs in the first half in terms of breaking this scoreless draw, but it was really a half that led towards some outstanding defensive play. Christine Nairn will take the free kick after the foul against the Breakers. It's Ellie Reed looping around her.
Dangerous
Nairn
ball
into the
by
box.
Nairn.
That's a good one. Winner's got a head on it. Wasn't able to do much with it. Nairn again sends it back into the box. Kaylin Kyle was there, but again, good defense by Boston. The offside flag, though, was up. And the free kick coming up for the Breakers. Mentioned coming into this game, Seattle out of last place in the National Women's Soccer League with its 3-1 win on Saturday against Chicago. Now with 8 points on the season, 4 points behind 6th place Chicago.
I've talked about this before. In an 8-team league, it is shocking what you can do, not winning a game in 8 or 9 tries, and then suddenly a tie and a couple wins, and you really aren't as far out of it as you think you were. So this game tonight, and I know Coach Harvey, having spoken to her before this match, this is key for both of these teams. This is a big match for Boston and for Seattle. And
Leslie, want to get your feedback. There have been a number of changes. We had the trade, Renee Cuellar coming over from Kansas City, Teresa Noyola heading the opposite direction, some draft choices involved. We have Jessica McDonald making her debut tonight, number 22, at a forward spot. Obviously, this is a team that's hoping to capitalize on the momentum by adding some depth to the roster, especially up front. Cuellar arriving with 5 goals on the season.
Well, there's no doubt that this roster is going the right direction, health-wise, addition-wise, and result-wise in the last few games. So it was no secret early on with Seattle, with A-Rod being out, Hope being injured, and Pino not being here yet, them not having any of their allocated U.S. players, that it was going to be tough for the Seattle Reign.
Shot on goal, and just wide. I'm not sure if Solo got a hand on it. She may have a corner kick or a goal kick. It will be a goal kick for Seattle, but a good turn and shot on the ball that time by Schoepfer.
She got a hand on it. That's what that big smile right there is for. She knows it was a corner, and she wants to say, hey, I saved that, but that would mean it was a corner. So she's just going to grin and take the goal kick.
Why not? Absolutely. Well, you take the break and you move on.
But as I was saying, it was no secret once you saw this team play for 4 or 5 games that they were a team of midfielders and they had no scoring punch. Fishlock was trying to do a lot defensively and in the attack out of the midfield. They were playing a lot of midfielders as forwards. Teresa Noyola is a great example of that. Even Christine Nairn still is playing a little bit out of position for her for the number of midfielders they have on this team. But with the addition of Cuellar, Jessica McDonald, and Pino arriving, and getting some people back from injury has really bolstered this team's chances of being a good team here down the stretch.
And, of course, a new addition on the defensive end yet to make her debut. Turnover in the box, and it'll result in a goal kick for Seattle. Stephanie Cox, former U.S. national team player, has been training with the club for 3 weeks. She is available tonight. Don't know if we'll see her. But, again, you just talk about overall depth.
And that's something not to go unmentioned either. Is in Jessica McDonald, Renee Cuellar a little bit, Stephanie Cox for sure, Megan Rapinoe showing up, is not only do you get the ability, but it's the experience level. And this is nothing, against someone like a Tiffany Cameron or a Teresa Noyola or a Lindsay Taylor for that matter. But those are younger players than some of the players that the Reign are trying to boost their chances with.
Good counter here. Rapinoe up ahead. Fishlock gets to the ball. Left-footed shot just wide. And a goal kick coming up for Boston. Good offensive push forward that time. And that combination, I talked about it in the first half. It was fun last time out to watch the natural feel that Rapinoe and Fishlock have for each other. We didn't see a lot of it in the first half here tonight, but we saw a lot of it in the second half on Saturday.
And some of us saw it less in the first half than others. Mainly me. But, those two are really fun to watch. They're on the same level tactically as far as understanding movement of each other, runs off the ball. And what a great threaded ball by Megan Rapinoe there. And it's something we see in Jess Fishlock is that burst that she has. She's got a little burst that you don't see all the time, but she can get by you with pace. I think it's deceptive.
Limping a bit right now as she Takes a bit of a breather near midfield. Here comes Rapinoe again. All taken away by the Breakers. Schoepfer. Whitehill up ahead to Leroux. She is onside. Tried to switch it. Off target and maybe a little bit too strong. It is out. A throw-in coming up for Seattle. And Sydney Leroux coming into this match with 7 goals, 1 assist, 2 goals the last time out in the win over Sky Blue FC 3-2 on Sunday.
Yeah, and pace and strength are what you're going to get from Sid the Kid. She's got jets, and she can get by you really quickly. She's strong. It's hard to knock her off the ball, so you've got to really keep your eye on her.
Outstanding player at UCLA, so someone you had to
once again
game plan for and deal with.
Yep, saw her a few different times during her career. She played some youth soccer here in Washington for Eastside FC with a few of my players, Kate Deines being one of them.
Yep.
And then she also played in Arizona. She's made her way up and down the West Coast as a player, and everyone, it's pretty storied about her youth national team career, her dual citizenship, and you know, her eventually being on the U.S. full team.
Yeah.
It's not that popular north of here, but I think that's a compliment to her.
Yeah.
She's a good player, and I know Canada would love to have her on their team.
Rapinoe to throw in.
I think the thing I'd like to see, Tom, that we haven't seen as much in the last game and this game so far, what I'm seeing is just the number of passes strung together. I think as the season goes on, when we talked about it before, teams scout each other. There's a lot of these games look kind of stalemate-ish, if you will.
There's Avant going down and Rapinoe being lectured.
I think she might have been. I think she might have been possibly speaking French there.
Is that one way to deny your hearing what's being said?
Yeah, I think she's practicing her French. It looked more Italian from here, actually, because her hands were flying all over the place. But I'd like to see a little bit more possession. And I think, again, Reign have a skillful enough team, and there's space on the field to be able to get it into their midfield players, to find Keelan, find Kate, find Fishlock, and switch the ball from side to side a little bit more and open up opportunities where they can keep the ball in the front half, where it doesn't have to be sort of one penetrating pass and we're done. They can build a little bit more with numbers.
Kyle with a header.
It's a great touch by Keelan Winters.
McDonald to Nairn. And room for Christine to operate. 4 teammates flooding the box. Left-footed service in. McDonald with a shot in the goal! Jessica McDonald in her Reign debut, giving Seattle the 1-0 lead in the 54th minute.
What you're going to see here is, again, a nice, quick, deft touch by Keelan Winters to get the ball out wide to Christine Nairn. And then Nairn does a great job. It's not on. She pulls it back, and then with her left foot, slots it into the middle where McDonald takes a touch and just slots it home.
You know, it's interesting. Kia McNeill looked like there was some hesitation on trying to block that ball. Watch right there. Looked like she initially had put the foot out, maybe drew it back just a bit. I'm not sure what her thought process was there, but it opened the door for McDonald.
That's true. It was odd. She just seemed to pull back. Maybe like someone behind her called for it or said something. I don't know. But to the fortune of the Seattle Reign, and again, Jess McDonald in her Reign debut, scoring a goal, giving the fans something to cheer about here.
And her first goal of the season, be it in Chicago or now here with the Reign.
Goal scored in the 54th minute by Jessica McDonald.
Good crowd here tonight at Starfire Stadium. I mentioned it's a busy soccer night here in the Seattle area with the Seattle Sounders of Major League Soccer home tonight. There'll be about 40,000 fans at CenturyLink Field for a match against DC United, but still very strong support here. Just about 15 minutes south of CenturyLink, right here at Starfire. Lauren Barnes to take this free kick.
Last I heard, the Sounders were up 1-0, but I'm not sure where they are right now, but hopefully DC is a game they should get and they need, so hopefully that works out for them tonight.
McDonald off the head. Here comes Fishlock off her head and just wide.
Well, this is what you like to see from the Reign. They get a goal, they're up, and again, it hasn't happened that many times this season where they're up a goal, but now the confidence and the just the aggression going forward.
I think I said Fishlock.
Did you do it again?
It was Rapinoe. Can I tell you? I know Megan's a little bit taller, but not that much. And when they're running and flying through, sometimes you flip a coin. But that was Megan Rapinoe getting ahead on that.
We need to talk to Rapinoe about maybe gelling it up a little bit, spiking it out, something to differentiate one from the other a little bit more.
Kyle, and that pass intercepted. And Fishlock gets it right back for Seattle. You see Jess saying, let's settle it down. Let's kind of reset things.
And it's what you want to see. You want to see ball movement. You want to see possession. And making the more they make Boston chase, the better chance they have of opening things up for themselves.
Good defensive play that time for Boston by McNeill. Schoepfer, wide open teammate, and the switch coming to the near sideline to King. 1v1 against Reed. Shot towards Solo, and Hope may have a little bit of that setting sun still to deal with, but handled that ball easily. Long ball toward McDonald. Whitehill with the defense for Boston. To Lohman, back to Whitehill. Cat going far sideline to O'Reilly. And a throw-in coming up for Seattle.
Now, Cat Whitehill, you don't want to give her too much time on the ball. She can really hurt you with a through pass and a switching ball. So that she can hit a ball 60-plus yards on a dime like nobody I've ever seen. So you don't want to give her too much time and space to find players.
Leroux. O'Reilly to Lohman. Tried to chip it up ahead, deflected. O'Reilly again chipping, headed out by Fishlock. Seattle claiming a handball on Sanderson, no call. And Nairn with it. Long ball up ahead, looking for Rapinoe. A little too strong though, and that'll be.
That was a great look by Christine Nairn. I mean, it was the right idea for sure. She just didn't hit the right type of ball. She hit it a little bit too straight, a little bit too firm. But that's a good look. That's a look you want to see her try again.
Whitehill getting it back. Leroux. Good defense that time by Reed, leading to the turnover. Here's Fishlock to Rapinoe.
Ellie Reed's an outstanding 1v1 defender, and I mentioned before, you know, she gets forward out of the back really well, and you see how open she is here. That would have been a ball to bring back and switch out to Ellie Reed. They've got great numbers on this side. I think they just need to be a little bit more patient in the front half.
Sanderson a little too strong with that pass. Barnes to Kyle. Are you one of the coaches that believe you're most susceptible defensively right after you've scored? I know that's sort of a common line, but you feel there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah,
you know, it's just, you know, bring Colleen back in here and she'll tell you she coined the big 5 moment, which is the 5 minutes, you know, after you score or get scored on, 5 minutes at the beginning of a game or half. And there is, you know, when you score a goal, you just relax a little bit. And when you're scored upon, you up your game a little bit because you're upset you got scored on. You have to, you know, really use that as a focus moment to get your defending right, to not take risks, to just be extra sharp with the ball and with your decision making.
A substitution coming up for Boston. Katie Schoepfer heads to the sideline. And coming on, number 18 is Maddie Evans. So Evans on, Schoepfer off for the Breakers.
One Nittany Lion for another, and this team has a Penn Statey feel to it.
Naeher in goal.
Yeah. So Christine Nairn, the lone wolf for the Reign, but quite a few Nittany Lions playing on the Boston Breakers.
And the defense by Barnes, throw in for Boston. Sanderson with a drop to Nogueira. Leroux trying to volley. A shot on target. And it'll be a goal kick for Seattle. 61st minute. A goal by Jessica McDonald just a few minutes ago, giving Seattle the 1-0 lead.
You know, as a head coach, Laura Harvey, this is what you want to have on your team. You want to see consistency in your back line, in your goalkeeping, consistency in your midfield, and you want to see consistency up front, but you also want there to be competition amongst your forwards. And the goal scorers are the ones that are going to play. And if you can get on a streak, you're going to get minutes. And if you go a long time without getting a goal or seeing the goal, you're probably going to get subbed and give somebody else a go. But this is where, you know, as a team, you would want to be a little earlier in the season than Seattle Reign were able to get it there. But now that they have it, I think we're going to have a lot more positive, one, results, and two, a better look at what Laura Harvey's capable of as a coach and what this team is capable of.
Leroux, a couple of defenders there. Barnes and Fishlock. Nice header by Winters. O'Reilly coming in. And that leads to a takeaway for Boston. Sanderson out to Evans. Onside, a lot of room. Heather O'Reilly. O'Reilly and a goal for Boston, the equalizer. Sydney Leroux, and a defensive breakdown that time by Seattle. A lot of room for O'Reilly to go to work, and she took advantage of it, and they're to poach it in. Sydney Leroux in the 63rd minute.
See that on the replay, because that wasn't unlike the, there was something weird that happened with Kaylin Kyle there. I think that might have hit Kaylin Kyle.
I think it might have as well.
That goal started way before that, though. The midfield for the Reign got drug out of position a little bit.
That ball was off the foot of Kyle.
Ellie Reed got drawn into the middle, going across square, marking a player, which left the left side open, wide open for O'Reilly to dribble in.
A goal for Sydney Leroux, her 8th on the season. And it's a 1-1 match here at Starfire Stadium. Megan Rapinoe, Seattle quickly back on the attack. Looking for McDonald. Throw-in coming up for the Reign. Oh, we saw an explosive second half in the last match here on Saturday. 4 goals scored after intermission. We have 2 scored so far after intermission on this Wednesday evening. Rapinoe. Fishlock. And got a little too under that strike, and goal kick coming up for Boston.
Well, we're going to see another debut. Renee Cuellar is at the half line, and it'll be interesting to see who she replaces, because I think the starters for this team have played very well. McDonald's got a goal. Rapinoe, you want to have on the field. Christine Nairn has certainly been dangerous for this team all season. And so I'm not quite sure what the change is going to be, but, you know, goal scoring is what we need, and Renee Cuellar has certainly shown in this league that she can do that.
5 goals this season with Kansas City. Rapinoe. Always in control on the ball. Goes for it from distance. Goal kick coming up. And we should get our substitution coming up here. And coming off will be Ellie Reed. So a defender off. Forward on, Renee Cuellar. And we'll see who heads to that back line and what other adjustments may be made here. So Nairn dropping into a midfield position. Looks like Deines is going back to the back line.
So that's the switch, is Nairn into the midfield, into the 4-3-3, Cuellar up top, and Jess McDonald comes over to the right-hand side.
And there's Cuellar. Cuellar right out of the gate. Cuellar with the shot and saved by Naeher.
That's a good quick look.
How about that for instant impact right off the sideline? Leroux chasing this one down. And Boston again on the attack. O'Reilly, full of energy. O'Reilly the shot, left-footed. Goal kick coming up for Hope Solo. You know, both teams getting some very good opportunities. Things may be loosening up a bit on the defensive end.
Yeah, I've seen people are a little bit flat-footed defensively. You know, it's easy to maybe feint one time, make one move, and you catch the player going to one side, and they're getting past them. Not getting a lot of block shots in front of the goal, a lot of easy looks. That's got to be something that both teams kind of find their legs and try to do better.
Kyle to Fishlock.
And now to settle it when you have it.
Fishlock tackled by Lohman. And that may be a card coming up against Joanna Lohman, or maybe just a lecture. It looks like just a lecture. The next time will likely result in a caution. Barnes up ahead. Area of Cuellar. Shot by Rapinoe, and the save by Naeher, and a corner kick.
That's a great
coming
save
up
by
for the
Alyssa
Rain.
Nairn. I don't know if there's a lot of people that would expect someone to hit that one first time. She had time to settle it in space in front of her, but she's a good first-time striker of the ball, and Pino got a good one on goal there. This is where I'd like to see the Rain be a lot more dangerous. We've talked about them marking on corners, which hasn't been a real strength, and I don't think attacking corners have been a great strength. They have enough ability on their team and good enough players in the air that Keelan Winters, Kate Deines, they need to get a first, second, and third chance on this ball, and either make the keeper make a save, get a goal, or put it out for a goal kick or another corner. But they've got to do better on their corner kicks.
Rapinoe with the corner. Low ball. McDonald. Back
There's
to
one
Rapinoe.
chance. There's two
Inside.
chances and a corner.
And another corner coming up.
See, that's what you want to see out of your corner kicks. You want to either have them result in another corner, a goal, a save, something. But you just don't want to be one and out.
Unofficially, both teams with 5 corner kicks. Rapinoe, far post. Winters. Fishlock claiming a handball. It looked like there may have been something to that.
What she needs to do now is get back on side.
Not going to get the call, so get back to business. Here's Rapinoe.
Pino can serve this ball. Fishlock could be open on the far post.
Oh, beautiful cutback by Rapinoe, but good defense by the Breakers to clear it out of danger. Up ahead to Sanderson. Winters beats her to the ball. Sanderson to Leroux.
It's a good thing they stole that ball there. Just, I don't know if Kate ended up at the left back position off the corner kick and hasn't got.
Here's McDonald, the shot, and just deflected wide.
Another great save by Alyssa Nairn.
Well, she's getting a workout here in the second half.
This has been the biggest improvement for the Rain, is that, you know, they gave up a goal. However, they've still stayed positive in their attack. They're not sitting back. They're not being conservative. They're still looking to go forward, still creating. One of these corners has to give.
The larger targets for the Rain: Deines, Kyle, Winters. Rapinoe, high arcing shot. Not one of her best corner kicks. Nairn, a lot of spin on that ball. Winters! Oh, over the goal as she did what she's really supposed to do, so head that ball down, but a little too hard and over the goal. Unfortunate for the Rain.
I think that's a goal on grass.
You see that ball. Oh, that's one you see Keelan's reaction. She'd love to have a second opportunity at that.
Yeah. You know, Keelan's knocked on the door a few times this season and not been rewarded, and one's got a break for her. That was a great bent ball played back in by Christine Nairn after Kate ran it down in the corner and played it back to her. What I like to see, creating more than one opportunity off the corner. They're getting better now. One of them needs to be converted into a goal.
71st minute at Starfire Stadium, a 1-1 game. Both goals coming here in the second half. McDonald for Seattle, Leroux for Boston. Winters with some room in the midfield. Near sideline to Deines. Fishlock with the takeaway to McDonald. And it'll be corner kick number 7 coming up for Seattle.
You know, I like what I'm seeing out of Jessica McDonald, and even since she was a college player, I watched her grow up as a youth player in Arizona, and watched her when she was at the University of North Carolina, and I know she's been to Europe and in the WPS. She's been around. She's a veteran, but she is really showing composure and skill on the ball, the ability to keep the ball, take on. She's making good decisions.
Fishlock. A good look at it. Rapinoe.
Sorry.
That leg was loaded that time.
I'm not sure what she was hoping for out of that one, but
maybe driving it low with some
hit something, deflect.
miles per hour behind it.
Well, whatever it was, it's Pinot. I love it.
Throw in for Boston. Good look at number 15, Megan Rapinoe. Megan will always be linked to one of the great memorable plays in U.S. women's soccer history, 2011. The World Cup quarterfinal, Brazil, 122nd minute, the left-footed cross
really
to a pretty good target.
Really fortunate to be able to have witnessed that whole thing live from about the first or second row in that game, and you know, everyone's vocal cords were popping. I've never been so physically exhausted after watching a game as I was after that game.
Abby Wambach with a finish, led to penalty kicks in a U.S. victory. A foul on Seattle, and very good position, free quickly taken.
Good read by Dallstream.
Yep, and a counterattack for Seattle.
Kirsten Dallstream's comfortable. She loves to attack. She's naturally more of an attacking player.
And the opportunity goes awry with the offside call. Unfortunate there, a great push forward by the Rain in terms of numbers.
We haven't seen Kirsten Dallstream get forward that much on this team, and you know, she found herself there where she typically would be in a really comfortable position. I thought she played the ball a little bit too early. She's a good enough player that she could wait, draw a player, take on, and find a little bit better opening. I hope to see her get forward a little bit more here as the game goes on.
Well, just an unforced error there by Julie King with no real pressure on her. She simply sent the ball over the touchline, but redeems herself by taking that one right back. And a nice run by King. King, no one to stop her. Ball ahead to O'Reilly. O'Reilly and Hope Solo positioned perfectly to deny. Of course, a player she knows very, very well.
Yeah, and that she was fortunate Heo didn't do better on that ball. She hit it right to her. She didn't find the corner. Not that Hope, you know, might not have made a save, but she made it a little easier on her. And I think Kaylin Kyle had enough of a shoulder on her to knock her off balance. But that was a, you know, the turnover off the throw-in after they'd just given it back to us isn't something that can happen at this level. You've got to clean that up. And then Lauren Barnes and Kaylin Kyle, they got turned around a little bit, and they were able to. Boston was able to get in behind them, and that's got to be shored up.
The end of the box, Solo coming out, bumped off the ball and fouled. It was Nogueira.
Yeah, Nogueira's another player that we've seen quite a bit in the old Pac-12, center midfielder for Stanford University. Just a bruiser, tough in the air. You know, she's just skillful. She can spray the ball all over. And situations like that where she's in the box with a 50-50 ball, she's got a good opportunity to get ahead on it. You've got to make sure you take care of her.
Into the 76th minute. 1-1 in a rematch of a game that Seattle won 2-1 last Wednesday. on the Breakers' home pitch. Getting goals in the 78th minute from that player with the ball, Jess Fishlock. And the game-winning goal in the 86th minute by Christine Nairn off a terrific assist by Liz Bogus, who has not played this evening.
Yeah, I just am really pleased for the Reign that their attacking ability, their attacking personnel is definitely starting to take shape, and it's a lot to work with as far as different puzzle pieces to move around and try. And like I said, when you have your back line sorted, your midfield sorted, your goalkeeping sorted, and then it becomes a competition between your forwards as to who's going to create and score, that's a good position to be in.
O'Reilly to Solo.
It's been interesting watching Boston, Heo and Leroux both, that, you know, cutting it inside kind of square and from distance trying that shot. That's not typically one that's going to have much of a chance against Hope, and they've both done it a couple different times as opposed to combining and getting themselves facing forward a little bit more and being a little bit more dangerous and getting a high percentage chance.
Beautiful ball, Rapinoe. And that ball was kept in the field of play by Naeher. Good idea that time by Fishlock. Leroux.
That's just an
Dallstream.
That's just an ill-advised pass. Square across the midfield leads to a counter like this.
Nairn to Cuellar. Early's trying to get it to Renee, but again, Naeher right where she needs to be.
That was a good idea. Why Boston would try to play that ball as opposed to playing it through their central midfield at an angle and then out the other side, I'm not sure, but maybe lesson learned and we won't see it again, but good read by Seattle to pick it off and get a chance pretty quickly.
Next match coming up for Seattle will be Thursday, July 11th, here at home against the Western New York Flash. Abby Wambach. I think we'll draw a few folks out to see her. And
well, I think more people are going to come to see Veronica Perez, but maybe they'll come to see Abby
one
and
of
Carly.
Your former players at the UW.
Maybe they'll come to see Abby and Carly.
Sort of a bonus.
As a bonus.
To see the all-time.
You get to see Abby and Carly.
Leading scorer in women's soccer history.
Part of Veronica Perez's entourage.
The game will kick off a week from tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
It's twice now that Renee Cuellar has been offside. She's come from a back to on position, according to the AR, and she's got to watch her line a little bit better than that.
I noticed early in the season with Kansas City, I think at one point at least, Leslie, she led the league in offside calls.
Yeah,
so
we saw them here twice, and she does have that issue.
Yeah. And a substitution, Jessica McDonald coming off. And Kenya Cordner coming on. A bit of a surprise in that she's dealing with a bit of a hamstring issue, a recent call-up from the Reign's reserve squad. So McDonald off, Cordner on with the ball, number 26.
She's got pace, and she is a risk taker. She will try to beat you and take on, and she can get in behind you. And I'm a little bit surprised, too, just based on the injury report that we heard. But maybe it's more mild than what we thought.
Substitution now coming up for Boston. Mariah Nogueira is coming off. So Mariah's night is over.
In the 80th minute, Boston Breakers substitution.
And coming on is
Game, number 25,
Joe Dragata. So Dragata
Mariah Nogueira.
on, Nogueira off for the Breakers. Cordner. Dallstream, and no one there for Seattle. 80th minute at Starfire Stadium, a 1-1 match. Winters. Chip ahead to Cordner. If Kenya can make something happen here. Good defense that time by Julie King, throwing for Seattle.
I think for Cordner to be as dangerous as she can be, the players in the midfield need to perhaps look to play one other pass before it gets played to her, so she gets played in behind on the run without the ball, as opposed to playing where she's faced up with a defender on her.
Winters into the box, looking for Fishlock. O'Reilly.
Because she's going to be difficult to catch if she's in behind.
Now, Liz Bogus may have been an option off the bench as a substitute. So, just a decision made by Coach Harvey.
But like I said, you know, there's options up front now, which is different than we saw initially at the beginning of the season.
Nairn knocked to the turf. Free kick coming up.
Now this is where you'd like to see Seattle be very, very dangerous.
Foul on Dragata. And Nairn with a very good left foot will take this free kick.
She'll bend that ball in around the 6, the far side of the 6. Keelan, where's Keelan right now? Keelan's starting pulled out a little bit. Kate seems to be over there. Kaylin Kyle's over there.
Good ball served in. I think it was Cuellar may have.
Yep, she put it in the right. She put it in the right spot.
Yeah. Winters takes it away from Evans. Rapinoe. The shot toward the near post. You see Megan signaling over, I think, to Jess Fishlock. Upon maybe personal review, she would have tried to serve up the pass and take the shot there. Winters elevating over the back of Lohman. The foul on Keelan Winters.
Yeah, Keelan's got hops. She gets up there, and I think her what the ref saw was not just the hang time, but I think she, by the time the ball came and landed on her head, she had to use her arms to push off a little bit, and she's a little disappointed in the call.
And somehow, some way, a soccer ball from
way far away.
I think we have fields actually behind the stadium. And I will tell you, that is one errant shot to basically come over the backside of the stadium onto the pitch. Into the box. Cordner clears it out. Rapinoe trying to flick it ahead to herself or Cuellar. Sanderson looking for O'Reilly, but Dallstream there for Seattle. The two Boston players converging on Cordner, and she lost it. King took it away. Here's Lohman. Barnes for Seattle to Deines. Rapinoe called for the handball. I think it's fair to say she doesn't agree with that call.
Yeah, I think she chested it down. I didn't see a handball, but Laura Harvey didn't either. And she was right there.
Given the fourth official little commentary on that far sideline. Solo out to Fishlock, who has some room to operate right here. Ahead to Dallstream.
Dallstream needs to draw someone, then pick someone out.
And goes behind Cordner.
Yeah.
Really kind of an unforced error right there for Seattle.
Yeah, that's the type of thing you have to clean up. You can't have turnovers like that at this point where you're trying to get the winning goal.
Fishlock to Rapinoe. Megan sizing things up. Clearing a little bit of room and takes the shot. A little wide. 85th minute.
Megan Rapinoe is clearly not afraid to shoot. What has to happen there as well is the players around her off the ball. Keelan was still maybe trying to look for a little slip pass in behind. Kenya Cordner and Renee a little bit stationary, maybe need to move a little bit to create or draw a defender away from where Rapinoe's dribbling, or possibly even open up a chance for themselves to be slotted through.
Lohman, take away. Fishlock looking for Cuellar. Time to select our player of the match for the Seattle Reign. And I think by virtue of what we have right now, we go with the goal scorer in Jessica McDonald in her Seattle Reign debut. So congratulations, Jessica McDonald, player of the match here tonight at Starfire Stadium.
You know, just based on the second half and the number of chances that the Reign have created, I think Heo had the best chance for Boston, the one that she hit directly to Hope as opposed to slotting one side or the other. But the winner's header.
Whitehill, a little strong on that final touch.
The number of corners, the near miss by Kopmeyer when she first came on. I think the Reign have had the better of the second half. You would hope here in the last few minutes that they continue to push and try to get the game winner.
Kat Whitehill coming up from the defensive end. May have a bit of a leg issue as she's down on one knee, and Seattle trying to take advantage of it. Dallstream, good hesitation. Into the box, and the shot by Kopmeyer. Goal kick coming up for Boston.
Yeah, they're going to attend to Kat Whitehill now.
And the trainer on for Boston as Whitehill goes from one knee to take a seat. We'll see how long she needs treatment. I don't think we were looking at much added time based on the play here in the second half. There have been a number of substitutions, so certainly some time there until now, exactly. So
and the 2 goals, I'm going to say 3 minutes.
3 minutes? All right.
That's going to be my guess. We had 5 the other night, yeah?
I think so, yeah. So under her own power, you see number 4, Kat Whitehill.
Yeah, I can't tell what body part that was. Maybe her left hamstring that she already has the physio tape on.
Yeah, you see, yeah. Good point. It may have been that. Substitution will be coming on, it looks like.
I'll tell you what, you're seeing a little bit more and more of this as the season wears on with every team is just the little nicks and niggles that the season brings as far as injuries, or at least being dinged up enough that you're not 100% when you play. There's a few players carrying them into the game.
And Whitehill is off. And Moscato.
Karma Moscato came on.
Yeah, has come on to replace her.
And Karma Moscato's new to the Breakers. She was in the trade last week with the Chicago player, Leon.
Leroux, solo. Again, positioned very well. Leroux had a little something on that shot.
Yeah, that one struck well, hit hard.
O'Reilly with room.
Now right now there's a big gap between the forward line on Seattle's team and the midfield, and they're spread out from line to line a little bit too much. You'd like to see them getting up and down the field together, connecting from the back to the middle to the front. And this game's become a little bit end-to-end here late, which doesn't bode well if you're trying to at least hold on.
Sanderson puts that shot on target.
Hold on to a point and not give one up.
Again, here's O'Reilly. Dallstream sending it forward to Kopmeyer. Nairn with it. Oh, and Fishlock, you will, excuse me, Rapinoe, you'll rarely see that.
You're seeing a little bit of frustration between the back line and Jess Fishlock. Is their outside back. She's pointing at Kirsten Dallstream to get up to Heo. She's not getting up to Heather O'Reilly quickly enough, and it's giving Heo time to face. Your outside backs have got to shift to those outside players. That's not the job of an inside midfielder to run over and mark, and it's just giving them too much time on the ball. And
now from behind that time on Sanderson. 90th minute here at Starfire Stadium. 1-1 between Boston and Seattle. Both goals coming here in the second half. McDonald for Seattle, Leroux for Boston. And there is Sydney Leroux. Touch to the outside and a good run here for the Breakers. But then always there making the right decision, the right time, is Lauren Barnes.
Yeah, Lauren Barnes has, she's been very good since the move to center back, and defensively she's got good pace, she tackles well.
Leroux got a head on it, calling for a corner kick, deflected off like Dallstream. So a corner for the Breakers, unofficially their 6th tonight. And of course, defense on set pieces. I know Coach Harvey talked to you about that and the importance of Seattle tightening that part of the game up. O'Reilly to take the corner. Solo punches it away, and Dallstream with a strong right leg on it. Out to Cordner.
Well, Tom, I see how you tried to jinx me into saying something about the marking on corner kicks before the corner was taken.
No, I would never do that.
At which case, I would have been ripped upon if something would have happened and they would have scored. So I waited until Hope boxed it out. Dallstream had an outstanding clearance.
Superstition
we were out of trouble.
Sports.
A little bit.
Rapinoe. Deines did not see the added time shown. So a little bit in some uncharted territory here. Did not see the AR hold up the indication. Not that he didn't, I just didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. 4 minutes, I'm hearing from Twitter.
Nairn. Rapinoe settles. Rain looking for a special moment. Winters unable to gain control of the ball.
A little bit more movement off the ball from the Rain players in these last waning minutes would help their possession. It would help their ability to generate, you know, a high percentage shot as opposed to a shot from distance or kind of a, you know, a low percentage shot, if you will. But right now, you know, you see somebody on the ball like Rapinoe. Keelan Winters is in position, but there's not 2 or 3 other players moving off the ball to support it.
Rapinoe looking for Cordner. Ball will not get there, intercepted by Naeher. Can that be when you're playing your 4th and 10 or 11 games, you maybe get a little bit fatigued and the decision-making isn't where you'd want to be late in a match?
The decision-making, technique, you know, it all kind of starts to drop off a little bit when you've got heavy legs. But, you know, quality players, they find a way. Here's another thing I've talked about with Hope's punts, and she gets it well past the center circle. Driven, she can loft it. I don't see really that there's a plan to target someone and then someone to run off that person. You know, if you watch the national team play, it's all about Hope finding Abby's head and someone running off of Abby's head. Here, she hits it in hopes that somebody gets underneath it. They've got to be ready for her to distribute that ball and have a plan as to who's going to be in and around it, because it can be a real weapon.
Here's Leroux. O'Reilly making a strong run up the middle. We'll see if they can get a connection going. And Barnes again, the sliding tackle. O'Reilly in a hurry, knowing that time is of the essence. 1v1 with Fishlock. Flicks it ahead. Fishlock with a terrific tackle and takeaway. And that is it. Here at Starfire Stadium, we've played our 4 minutes of added time. And the rematch between Boston and Seattle ends in a 1-1 draw. And you see players on the field, they certainly look spent. And you're looking with that yellow jersey on Jessica McDonald, our player of the match with the lone goal for Seattle. Christine Nairn serving it up, and McDonald taking advantage.
I think that ball bounced under Kia McNeill's foot. I don't think she didn't try to swing. I think she just kind of lost it in the crowd. It was a dangerous ball. The thing you see now with Seattle is not only are they fatigued, but they're disappointed. I think they thought up 1-0. We should have taken the 3 points here at home. I think kind of a soft goal for them to give up, to be frank, and then a couple of missed opportunities, plenty of restarts, and a couple of other chances that, and to give her credit, Alyssa Naeher came up with some great saves in the second half.
Well, the first game, that was one that Boston certainly felt they let slip away with the late 1-0 lead. Seattle getting goals in the 78th and 86th minute. So Seattle probably feeling some of that frustration, although they do get out of this one with 1 point. Not the 3 that they were hoping for as they try to make a late run into playoff contention. So with the 1 point, Seattle now with 9 points, a record of 2 wins, 9 losses, 3 ties. Boston with a tie, now 4 wins, 5 losses, 4 ties, a total of 16 points.
There's plenty of time, you know, in these next few games for Seattle to make a move and get themselves not necessarily into playoff contention. I don't think that has to be the goal. I think if they can somehow finish fifth or higher based on the way the season started, I think they'll be pleased with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it'll be a fairly quick turnaround for Boston. They'll have certainly some time to enjoy the holiday tomorrow. My guess would be they might do that down in Portland. That's where they will play next against a very good Thorns team. That'll be a 7:30 kickoff Saturday evening down at Geldwen Stadium. U20 friendly coming up as well for Seattle. So that'll be interesting, an exhibition, and maybe some of the players who haven't seen much action lately will get the starts in that one.
Yeah, and I know the U20s are in camp down at Portland right now, and they have the great opportunity to play the Thorns and to play the Reign. And they're going to play them this Sunday, the 7th, and you know, in an open scrimmage, and it'll be great for fans to come out and see.
And the next league match for Seattle will be 1 week from tomorrow. That'll be Wambach, Western New York Flash in town for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Leslie, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks also
to Haley Kopmeyer for filling in for me the first half, and let's all say a little prayer for my little dog Shadow that ate a pill she shouldn't have eaten.
If you have a pet, you've probably been down that road, right? Yep. And yes, real thanks to Haley tonight. She had your back this evening and did a terrific job in the first half. Let's get our final score tonight. Seattle won, Boston won. For Leslie Gallimore, Haley Kopmeyer, our entire crew here at Starfire Stadium, I'm Tom Glasgow. Have a terrific 4th of July, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight.